rankings. Be honest. If you know boxing, be honest. There's levels.
And it shows, bro. It shows.
Very sharp. That's all I can.
Dangerous.
Very dangerous. Don't look like he's 46.
He looks like he's 36 or 26.
Yeah.
After seeing Manny Pacquiao's incredible preparation for the Barrios bout, Gervonta Davis is in disbelief. Pacquiao looks like a monster in the gym because of his incredible speed and power, which belies his advanced age. He is far from finished and prepared to rule once again, as seen by his intense footwork and piercing blows. During sparring, Manny Pacquiao seemed as sharp and explosive as ever, according to his colleagues. They said that he is still training as if he were in his prime and is not slowing down at all. According to one teammate, Manny performed well through 8 challenging rounds, retaining his speed, power, and accuracy the whole time. His blows struck cleanly and with excellent timing, and his motions were precise. Even after rigorous workouts, everyone were astounded by how fresh he stayed. They contend that Manny is doing more than just keeping up. He's picking up the pace and impressing everyone with his continued sharpness and readiness.
Everybody is surprised, so it's gonna be a good fight.
What's the most impressive? His speed, his power, his footwork?
It's everything, because you don't see him slow down. People say he's slowing down, but he's not. I mean, that's where you're exactly going to be surprised, because he's sharp, really, to be honest with you. Very, very sharp. That's why I don't want to say anything else, but...
No, leave it at that.
You know,
But how?
I leave it that way, but...
Okay, so let me ask you this. In 11 days, he steps into the ring at the MGM in Las Vegas to fight Mario Barrios. How does the fight end?
There's a chance of knockout. I
Manny,
can see that.
you can
But
say
I'm
knockout?
not going to say what round.
Just that Manny wins either way, knockout or decision.
Yeah, I don't think decision, maybe. But decision is kind of... I don't know if it's going to distance, really. Because the way
Manny's
I
that
see
explosive.
everything is... I don't know.
Okay, now let's talk about his son Jim for a second. How talented is his son?
He's a very good fighter. You know, he's
Good
going
power.
there.
I've seen him knock people out.
Yeah, he's but power. He have you know, but right now he's still you know, we want him to grow more. You know, so to be ready. Actually, he's ready already. So we just wanted to work in silence. So we keep it down.
What's your message to all Pacquiao fans who are watching this, who are getting ready, who are excited for Manny Pacquiao Barrios July 19, Las Vegas?
Tune in to this coming fight, because it's gonna be a very good fight.
Don't go to the kitchen, don't go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
don't look at your phone.
Yes,
Because it can
just
happen.
focus on that, because I know Mario Barrios also is training hard too. Manny also, he trained like there is no tomorrow.
Roy Jones Jr. has said that he is very certain Manny Pacquiao will be able to win another world championship upon his return. Jones thinks Pacquiao stands out due to his work ethic, experience, and fighting spirit, despite the questions surrounding his age and time away from the sport. He claims that Pacquiao is one of the few sportsmen who can surpass expectations, and that the Filipino icon still has the skills, discipline, and mentality needed to succeed at the highest level. Jones claims that Pacquiao's continued appetite throughout training indicates that he is back for genuine competition rather than just spectacle.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, because that's not the same Pacquiao. Of course, that's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game. Yeah, of course. But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever. Of course. When that's not how that goes. That's not reality. But in the business world, it is, because look how much money he made.
Here we go. Who's greater than me? I said Sugar Ray Robinson. You said Sugar Ray Robinson. How many wins he got? I said he got like over 150 wins. He stopped for me. He said, but who got more championship titles? Me or him? I said, hold on, Floyd. He said, answer the question. I said, Floyd, there's more titles now than then. There was just one then. That's no fair. Answer the question. I said, okay, you. Do I not have 28 titles? And I was just like, I don't know. He said, oh, you're supposed to be the expert. But the reason why I said that is because there's minor and major titles. Who else greater than me? I said Henry Armstrong, Roberto Duran. He said, oh my God. He said, you said something about Pacquiao. Yeah, I said, I think you'll beat Pacquiao every day of the week, but I think he had a greater career. He said, you ain't think Pacquiao was on steroids? I said, he didn't fail any tests, Floyd. He said, look at me in my eyes. I can't say that. He didn't think. He said, oh man, you fake. I saw that as a initiation. This is what you about to get. Nobody's greater than Floyd. My thing is, he should feel that way, but you can't expect everybody to feel that you're the greatest.
Mario Barrios has said unequivocally that while he has a great deal of respect for Manny Pacquiao outside the ring, that regard does not carry over onto fight night. Although Barrios respects Pacquiao's legendary reputation, he just sees him as a rival vying for his title. He makes it clear that once the bell sounds, emotion will not be allowed because he intends to treat Pacquiao the same as he would any other opponent who is trying to steal what is rightfully his. His words demonstrate how seriously he takes this fight and how unwilling he is to let Pacquiao's legacy affect him emotionally.
You know, ever since the fight was announced, I think initially I was kind of just like shocked. I'm like, man, dude, like Pacquiao wants to fight me, right? He wants to fight me for my title. You know, I think for the sport of boxing and I think just sports in general, like Manny is that name. When you think about boxing, right? He's somebody that comes to mind. At least for me. Like I've been watching him since since my earliest memories of boxing. Manny has been a name that's like, okay, like he's the man. And yeah, you know, now he wants to come out of retirement. He wants to fight me for my title. I can't look at it as anything other than, you know, it's just another opponent trying to take what's mine. You know, he's outside the ring. I have, you know, nothing but respect for him, nothing but respect for everything he's accomplished, for the person he is. You know, everything he does, you know, for his country and more. But as soon as we step in the ring, you know, he's in there trying to take what's mine. I'm not training with the mentality, you know, that I'm getting ready, you know, to fight an icon, fight a legend. At the end of the day, he's just another man, you know, trying to fight for my title. He's going in there trying to, you know, take my title, and I gotta do whatever it takes to make sure he does it.
Although Brian Mendoza has acknowledged Pacquiao's talent, he is realistic about the potential impact of age on this fight. He observes that time eventually affects performance regardless of a fighter's level of skill. Although Mendoza thinks Pacquiao's quickness and instincts are still keen, the longer rounds may reveal physical limits. According to his analysis, although Pacquiao's fans applaud his effort, they should also be ready for the fact that older fighters find it difficult to sustain their best form during prolonged, high-pressure bouts.
Say that before the interview.
I know. This is an unbiased opinion.
Man, I'm looking forward to it, you know, even just as a boxing fan, you know, obviously coming up, there's always, you know, seeing Pacquiao's fights and stuff, and now to see the homie, you know, going up against him like that, it's wild, man. It's a wild feeling. I know even more so for him, but nah, man, I just think at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, the age will show up in the fight. I think at first, you know, he's had people talk about the layoff, but it's also a rest for someone at that age. So I feel like he's going to be rested. I feel like we might see, you know, hints of little old Manny, no pun intended, but old Manny. Little bits of flashes of that in there, but I think at the end of the day, man, Mario's super sharp. This is the sharpest I've ever seen him, you know, this far in camp. I'm super excited, bro, and he's gonna put on a great show. I still kind of lean towards like a decision, but regardless, it's Mario's way. If there is a stoppage, I think it'll be in like the second half. Like I said, you know, because I think that's really when the age is gonna show. Because you can look good in the gym, man, but once those bright lights are on you, anything that's wrong will come out. So as much of a legend Manny is, I think, you know, he bit off a little more than he can chew with Barrios.
Many fans still think Pacquiao's innate talent and ring intelligence are intact, despite doubts about his advanced age. Supporters who believe he still has the strength and explosiveness to compete with younger opponents have found hope in footage of his recent training sessions. These supporters contend that Pacquiao has always benefited from his unconventional angles, endurance, and unwavering style, and that these traits don't just fade with age. The enthusiasm around his comeback stems from his adaptability and sheer determination.
Pacquiao returns to the ring against a young fighter, champion WBC, Mario Barrios. How do you see that fight playing out?
Barrios is a tall guy, and he's a tough guy. You know, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because
Pacquiao is champion, the holder of the records of 8 divisions, and he knows how to fight, he knows how to win, so you always got to give it that opportunity for him to show up. And now whoever shows up in that ring, whether it's a desire to win or just try to be there, that's a question that we have to see. But I believe that he has the ability to do something to win the fight against Barrios.
Analysts concur that an aggressive and astute opening bell strategy is Pacquiao's best chance. Many want Pacquiao to seize the lead early and overwhelm Barrios with his trademark pace because they understand that endurance may become an issue in later rounds. He may gain momentum and stay out of the tiredness trap by taking control early. Making the most of Barrios' slower adaptations while steering clear of pointless interactions that might exhaust him will be crucial.
I was talking to somebody about Manny coming back fighting Mario Barrios. And this was the analogy I gave. Your timing is just, it slows down. That's time. Time slows you down. And so, to me, I think Manny has to come out very strong, very fast in the first couple of rounds because his gas tank ain't what it used to be. At 46 years old, you come out and let's just say hypothetically your gas is half full at 46 years old. I'd rather try to use that half tank
when I got something
in 2 or 3 rounds. And really get off on this kid because he has the kind of style. Styles make fights. He's got the perfect style for Manny to do what he do. But the further that fight goes, the more that's gonna go down. He ain't young no more when it does this. It ain't gonna do this no more. It ain't gonna go down and then come back up. He not gonna create space, take a deep breath, and that thing shoot up the way it used to. He ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean?
As noted by observers, Barrios' defensive approach may make him open to Pacquiao's unrelenting attack. Some people think Pacquiao has what it takes to get past Barrios' defense, particularly if he employs quick combos and accurate angles. Barrios' detractors claim that there are weaknesses in his defense that Pacquiao or another highly intelligent boxer may take advantage of. If Pacquiao maintains watchful and avoids taking damage early, he could impose considerable difficulties on Barrios.
It's hard to know, at the age of Pacquiao, what we're going to get from him, Well, I'll tell you this. Depending on his conditioning, right? Depending on how much he can pop in on that instep that he brought to me, that notorious fast instep, if he can pop in that instep and if Pacquiao can get in, I know he can hurt Mario Barrios. Defense of Mario Barrios is still suspect. He is willing to get caught. You can catch the kid. It's not hard to find.
Questions regarding Barrios' pedigree continue to surface, particularly since he has been stopped by opponents who arguably lack the power and speed Pacquiao still has. Analysts argue that although Barrios is solid, he hasn't proven himself among boxing's top. This presents an opportunity for Pacquiao to exploit, particularly if he drives the tempo and forces Barrios into uncomfortable exchanges. Many regard this as a winnable bout for Pacquiao, provided he keeps to a disciplined game plan.
Are you cool with Pacquiao against Mario Barrios?
I am. I'm cool with it. If I was cool with Manny Pacquiao coming back and fighting Keith Thurman, I'm definitely going to be cool with this one. Barrios is not a puncher. Thurman was one of the biggest punchers in boxing. I think he's going to be just fine with Mario Barrios, who we know what he is on the top level. He comes up short. He's been stopped by fighters that are less than Manny Pacquiao, Tank Davis. So I like this fight. I think he's not going to be an overwhelming favorite, but I think it'll be a 50-50 fight, regardless of his inactivity in age. His explosiveness, even at this age, his greatness, and the fact that you can never know what Barrios you're going to get. And yeah, man, I like this fight. Why not? Nostalgia, marketable. Everyone will be behind him. It'll be internationally successful. I'm in.
How are you comparing Pacquiao coming back this summer at 46 after not fighting in 5 years to Pacquiao in 2019 fighting Keith Thurman, which came after back-to-back wins over Lucas Batiste and Adrian Broner? Those two scenarios could not be more different.
Some observers feel that Pacquiao would undoubtedly be preferred if age were not a consideration. They still think his boxing IQ is significantly higher and his foundations are sound. These voices believe that if Pacquiao can provide the volume and footwork that characterized his best, the contest will go in his advantage. The state of Pacquiao's training and sparring has been one of the most talked about components of his return. According to those around the camp, he is moving with remarkable dexterity, showcasing amazing footwork and combinations. According to reports, he has gone through many rounds without tiring and is still psychologically focused.
So former 8th Division World Champion, now Hall of Famer, Manny Pacquiao is now gearing up to take on welterweight champion Mario Barrios. And this is going to be an interesting fight. Now, I see a lot of people talking about Pacquiao saying that he's a former shell of himself, which he probably is. But make no mistake, 60% Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat on a lot of these young guys. Now, people were talking about Mario Barrios because he beat Udonis Ugas, someone who beat Manny Pacquiao last time out. But styles make fights, and this training footage of Manny Pacquiao training, I don't know. I think Barrios might be in for a long night, especially given his last time out with Ramos.
You ain't lying.
Paulie Malignaggi has expressed doubts about Pacquiao's ability to stay in shape over a whole fight. Although he recognizes Pacquiao's exceptional training, he cautions that the body doesn't heal as well as it once did as people age. Even the best-trained elder competitors, in Malignaggi's opinion, falter in championship bouts when endurance and leg strength are crucial. He acknowledges that Pacquiao is a unique situation and could yet be able to go over these inherent restrictions in spite of these worries.
What do you think about, Manny's decision and obviously getting thrown right into a title shot?
When you get older, your legs are not the same. You may have very good legs for a few rounds, but as you drag out a long fight, your legs start to betray you. I felt that later in my career. I would get into shape, but now all of a sudden, around 10, 11, 12, my legs are dragging ass, bro. Pacquiao, having not fought in a while, 46 years old. A lot of tough fights, a lot of wear and tear on Manny Pacquiao. But Manny had 70 plus pro fights. And he wasn't a defensive specialist. A lot of impact, a lot of back and forth impact. He's 46, he had a lot of heavy wear and tear into his late 30s and early 40s. So how are his legs gonna be? That's my biggest thing, because I think, Manny was a range-changing fighter. He was he was that style, in and out. He's not a pocket guy. And an in and out guy needs his legs. And needs his legs the whole fight, unless he lands something big. I will say, I think Mario Barrios, I think he sucks.
Many great combatants have failed in their attempts to defy time, as Barrios has pointed out. He says Pacquiao may experience the same fate, particularly if the bout continues into the latter stages. Barrios claims that he has youth and stamina on his side, and history backs up the notion that elderly legends are often discovered when they least expect it. An increasing number of people believe Pacquiao may not be as skilled at knockouts as he previously was. Barrios' youth and resilience, according to his detractors, may enable him to withstand punishment and live. They contend that time would not be enough for Pacquiao. He would need constant strength to end the battle quickly.
Gentlemen, it is official. Manny Pacquiao will actually be fighting Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title. If this man comes back and beats Barrios, which, if I'm being totally honest, I don't think he's winning this fight even remotely. I think he could actually get stopped, in my opinion. It's not because Manny's not great or nothing. He's one of the greatest of all time. You could argue that he is the greatest of all time. 8th Division champion. But he's just too old, man. This man is 46 years of age. If he wins this fight, he ties Bernard Hopkins' record for the oldest champion in boxing. That'll be crazy. But if I'm being honest, I just don't see him winning. I see him getting stopped. Dropped and stopped, if I'm being honest. He is having trouble with Ampo, bro. And Ampo not even a boxer. He a kickboxer. And yeah, I just don't think he'll, I just think he's too old, being honest. I just think he's too old to win the title. But let me know what y'all think down below, man.
So Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title is being targeted for late July in either San Antonio or Las Vegas on Amazon Prime. And Pacquiao is currently in a Senate campaign in the Philippines in May. but after that he wants to return in the summer for a world title and try to break his own record as the oldest welterweight champion at 46 years old. Now, I have every issue in the world with this. Manny Pacquiao, he's my favorite fighter of all time, but this is just not great for boxing. Pacquiao's last fight was 4 years ago in 2021 against Jordanis Ugas, and in that fight he looked a lot slower, not as explosive, and he got outboxed. And then last year when he was targeting the Barrios fight, he had an exhibition against a kickboxer, Rukia Anko, first, and he looked even slower and even more hittable in that fight. I don't think Pacquiao should be sanctioned to fight a world title fight at 46 years old, and not that Barrios is some scary knockout artist or a pound-for-pound level talent. If there's one champ at 147 that Pacquiao could upset, it would be Barrios. But in all likelihood, Barrios being the younger, bigger guy, he's just going to beat Manny for 12 rounds, probably stop him late. So I just don't want to see the fight. Pacquiao's accomplished everything in the sport. He really doesn't need another fight at 46.
Fascinatingly, Barrios' personal trainer has provided a distinct perspective on Pacquiao's comeback. He cautions that it might be deceptive to assume that Pacquiao's lack of movement is a vulnerability. He said that Pacquiao could have been training covertly the whole time, maintaining his fitness level even while he wasn't in the spotlight. He says that because Pacquiao's physique could be well rested and totally recovered, rare in boxing, this might make him more dangerous. The trainer suggests that Pacquiao never completely abandoned the sport, as seen by his present sharpness. Although many people are thrilled with Pacquiao's comeback, others believe this contest shouldn't have been scheduled. Bringing retiring heroes back for large payouts, according to critics, often damages their reputation and conveys the incorrect message about the sport. Pacquiao has already solidified his brilliance and has nothing more to show, they point out. According to this viewpoint, returning to the ring, particularly against a younger, energetic competitor, may jeopardize his illustrious career.